Welcome to Heather Ewing, the CRE Rundown. I am your host, Heather Ewing, and today I have the lovely Heather Konopka from beautiful Texas. Heather, welcome.
Hello, Heather. How are you?
I am great. I am so excited to have you on. Ever since we met a few weeks ago in Seattle at the CCIM governance meeting, it has just been a great experience, not only there, but meeting great people like yourself, which is why I had to have you on. So thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you so much. And I so enjoyed meeting you. I love your dynamic personality, just your energy. You're so incredible. So I'm really honored and excited to be here with you.
Thank you. So, since our guests don't know you, please share with them a little bit more about yourself and what you do in lovely Texas.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. I am a commercial real estate broker. I own a Sperry Commercial Global Affiliates franchise. Whew, that's a mouthful. And
Exactly.
it really is. Sperry CGA for short. It's always easier that way. And I've been in the business 30 years. I specialize in land development, multifamily, and I have a component of industrial and office and property management.
Very nice. So, between Texas and Wisconsin, what are you noticing in your market? I think there's always similarities throughout the nation, but also some of the different idiosyncrasies due to location.
Fantastic question. I've had some deals fall out. I've had one in particular, we were under contract. My client wanted a 5-month extension and
Mhm.
the seller wouldn't give it. And he pulled out of the deal. 2 weeks later, that seller comes back and says, what would you pay, a $5 million price reduction to close by the end of the year? And my guy took it. So
Exactly.
putting it back together. So price is definitely, being impacted. I think, bringing that gap between a buyer and a seller is our challenge. And, with the rising of interest rates, I think getting creative is really important, whether it's an owner financing component, it's, maybe it's I'm not seeing a lot of loans get done. A
Right.
lot of
No, and I
cash
agree
deals.
too. That's
Yeah.
definitely prevalent in our market too, of people that are able to secure locations with cash are definitely doing it as far as having the locations, because as I've always said, timing precedes location. You can know about a great location, but if you're not able to secure it, you're out of the race, right?
Yeah.
So
And
something
something I tell my team members and the people I talk with is, in Dallas Fort Worth, we are in a great area. We are expanding. We still have development going on. People are still moving here. And I've been through the cycles and commerce will continue. And I think so many people get, maybe they've been in the business the last 3 to 5 years and it's, oh my gosh, interest rates are no longer 3%. Okay, so they're maybe even a little bit more normal now. It's 6.5 or 7.5. I don't know that we'll ever get back to those twos and threes. I
right.
think it was just a time period that, happened and, we're just normalizing now. So, but commerce does continue. People need places for their businesses. People want investments. And I think, especially as the stock market has its challenges, I see a lot of people pulling money from there and buying bricks and mortar.
Definitely. Well, I think too, it's one of those where, especially if you have a background in real estate or know someone that is in this realm, that it really is easy to get into real estate by investing with the right people, the right firms. And I don't know, I think there is something about that tangible asset. Whereas with stocks, you see the numbers, but it's just different, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. I
Hmm.
invested in a company I really believe in, and I've just watched it plummet. So anyway, I have hope.
Definitely. So you two are a very intrinsic and a deep person. What got you into commercial real estate and what's the why behind that?
Oh, great question. So I started my career in residential, and after about 3 years of making really good money at the time, I wanted to buy apartments. And I go and I tell my office manager, hey, I'm going to buy this apartment complex. It's 52 units. I'd never owned an apartment. And by the way, I'm going to start selling commercial real estate. And he was like, Heather, if anybody can do it, it's probably you, but you need to get your CCIM designation. And we did have computers back then in the mid 90s. So I quickly type in, CCIM.com and, started on my courses. And I was penned in 2005. Small story on that apartment building. I did not buy it. Made the offer. It was $10,000 a door in 1999. And it has since traded for over $100,000 a door. And I didn't pull the trigger on buying it.
Well, that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, right. Lesson learned. But, through the course of time, I've done other, investments. And right now, my husband and I are looking and hoping to find or create or build an RV park. That's
very nice.
I think that's going to be really cool. So, and what's my why? This is a fantastic question. I think whys maybe change or they morph or they grow over time. Back then, I got into commercial real estate because I had two young children who are now 25 and 31, and I wanted to be home with them in the evenings, and I wanted to be with them on the weekends. And that was my why then. I had no idea until I really got into the CCIM education and just that it was such a fit for, I love numbers. I love analyzing and underwriting. But I love the people and, relationships are so important and so valuable. That's, working with people, seeing them, whether it's achieve their dream. I worked with a couple and year over year, I sold them a couple of multifamily properties. And then a year later, I sold them again, listed them for sale.
Right.
And they were so pleased. They invited me to an event they had, a fundraising event, this beautiful, 500-acre ranch. It was just beautiful. And they were able to give $1 million to that cause because it was, it was just actually, it was a year and a few days. But they didn't want to take all the tax hits. So, but it was also a good cause. So it was just really nice to see people do well, build their wealth, and to give.
Well, and that's the thing too. Wealth really is just an amplifier, right? Yeah. If you're the kind that cares about people and different causes and wants to use their time, money, energy, you just do more of that. And the opposite is true as well. So I agree completely.
Yeah. But the why really is, I really have thought long about this because, it really is about touching lives and leaving being memorable, leaving a positive impact, lifting them up, inspiring. So I think if there's just, one word, it really is probably inspire. I really want to inspire others and touch their lives.
I love that. And that's, what's interesting too, is when I got into commercial real estate, it was more so here's an expansive area where I can grow and make great money. And what's neat though, is over the years, I feel like I fell into my why. Yeah. And the neat thing about that too, is just, I think commercial real estate, despite what a lot of people would think, if they don't know people, there are a lot of really big hearts. And I think too, between our group with the CCIM too, of people have worked really hard and they've acquired a lot and have done really well. And there's such a, you hear the term fraternity, like it's like a beautiful family.
It really is. Yeah, absolutely.
It is. And I was pinned in 2020, so I'm still newer, but in that sense, you just can't help but feel enveloped and the knowledge, the deal experience, and just the kindness. I know it leaves a lasting impression each and every event that I attend.
Yeah. And I look forward to seeing you at more. So,
well, most definitely. Yes.
Nashville will be fun.
It will be. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, not fortunately, I'll be running the Boston Marathon, so I won't be at that one. So an exciting big life thing for me. So I'll have to catch up on the next one after. But
yeah, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So jumping gears a little bit, if you were to go back 5, 10 years, Heather,
Yeah.
into the time machine, what is a piece of advice or two that you would give yourself going forward?
Yeah. I that's a great question. I think being a female in a male dominant world, getting my CCIM designation has maybe got me to the table a few
Mhm.
times, maybe not. But what I love is people, when I talk, I know what I'm talking about. I know the numbers, I understand them. And it's like, you know, um, having them believe in me and
Mhm.
trust me.
Yeah.
I would probably, you know, I think we talked, we might be very similar in a lot of ways, not just the name, but, you know,
Right.
believing in yourself. And, something I've often told my children, my girls when they were younger is just be yourself and they'll love you. And, be your genuine self. And I think we tend to, whether it's imposter syndrome or whatever you might experience,
Right.
in this business, it's just be yourself,
Mhm.
educate yourself, be knowledgeable, and be
Right.
yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think commercial real estate is a great platform for that. Because when I think of you, myself, and
Yeah.
various other brokers, each person really is their own. And I think that is I hate to say the term superpower, but when you finally get into that stride and that comfort level that you
Yeah.
so fight when you're younger, right? That
Yeah.
it really does allow you to help, I think, on a grander scale and more fully. So I love that.
If I went back almost 26 years ago, I'd say buy that apartment deal.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Sign on the dotted line, baby, right?
pull the trigger. So,
Yeah, definitely.
um,
So things are, it's a bustling arena. What would you say is one or two things that have really helped you from a mindset perspective, right? Deals can be shorter, maybe a few months, they can be years.
years,
What's
yes.
a yeah, what's a tool that or resource that you like for mindset? What's something you do?
So I live on a lake, and I definitely enjoy sitting on my boat dock and relaxing, unwinding. I am very thankful. I think gratitude is huge. We all experience deals that, don't happen or they fall out. And I think I referenced the one that, just recently fell out. I I don't give up on it. I don't give up on I just persevere. And if it's not that one, let's see what else works. But I often put deals back together, and I love it. My husband calls me the closer. And I would love to have that as my tagline, but it might be the third or fourth time it's under contract, but I, work to get it done. And I think whenever you have a transaction and you've got buyers and sellers, it's understanding their motivation and their
Mhm.
why, and
Yeah.
continually reminding them of what their goal is. That begin with the end in mind statement is, what's their goal? What do they want to achieve with this transaction? And I really take, it's not about me, it's not about
Yeah.
my paycheck or, the commission. It really is helping them get to what they're looking for.
I agree because I think when you deliver outstanding service, one, people can feel that. And I think people intuitively can tell if someone is just a lot of
Yeah.
hot air or not. And I
Yeah.
think too that that offers the longevity. And obviously, after about 30 years, that speaks
Yeah.
levels and layers to not only your integrity, but your skill. And I think really providing value through the creativity also and the numbers. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
you've got a solid rock star years of service here. What
Yeah.
do you anticipate in the next 5 to 10? Like, is there anything that's, kind of one of those little thoughts in the back of your mind or something that's calling to you?
Fantastic question. With business, opening my office, and I
Mhm.
plan to grow. And I love seeing the younger people get it, so to speak. I've become a CCIM instructor, And, as we go around and teach in these different locations and just meeting people that are younger and having, they may or may not have some of the same stories or experiences that we've had, but to share them and maybe help them whenever that time comes or whatever that situation is, that will be beneficial for them. But growing my office, inspiring and just being the best leader I can be.
Definitely. Well, and I would definitely love to have you teach one of the courses here in Madison, Wisconsin. Of course, we'd save it for the summertime.
Preferably.
I don't want to put you through a winter.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So what is one thing, so if there's people that do know you that might be watching, what is one thing that might take all of us by surprise? What's that kind of one novel thing, whether it's a trip or anything, you name it?
I love sailing, and I really am looking forward to getting to the BVIs. We sailed the U.S. Virgin Islands, and during COVID, or shortly thereafter, the BVIs were still shut down. But I don't know that it'd be the best investment, but I'd love a sailboat and charter it and be able to use it anytime I want. But we'll see.
Does sound divine.
Yeah.
You're growing that team, right?
I'm working on it, right?
Definitely. Well, here's a way to help you. So, what is a good way for people to reach out to you, Heather, whether it's they're interested in working with you, maybe a certain deal that they have, or maybe there's someone in the Texas or area that is interested in commercial real estate, would love to work with a great person and firm.
Well, awesome. Well, we have our website. So we have the hkcgroup.com. You can reach out to me via email at heather.konopka@sperrycga.com. And you can also connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm working on all my other social medias.
Perfect. Well, Heather, thank you so much for joining me today. It was wonderful connecting with you, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather.
You bet. Bye-bye.